Howdy! Big day today. We are installing the wall for the shower. As I said before, we use vinyl. Unfortunately, the one that you saw last week is not enough, so I had to buy a new piece. I already installed one side. I used regular vinyl, PVC, glue. So what I did, I measured everything. I cut the vinyl with an X-Acto knife, and I dry fit it like 100 times just to make sure everything fits, understanding that when you put it on, it's gonna stretch a little bit. So all around the edges, you leave about 1/8 of an inch gap for the stretching. If for some reason the edge buckles, meaning it's too long, you just pull it up, take an X-Acto knife or scissors, and you just cut it off. It's pretty simple. The glue takes about a few hours to dry completely, so you have a lot of time to put this on. I was gonna staple the top in case it was gonna, slide down. That didn't happen. So I just put the glue on the wall, and I'm gonna show you the process on the other side. So you can do it if you want to. So just realized that I didn't do something. I'm going to mark the edge of the vinyl, so I know for a fact that it's 36 inches. Yep. So you can see that over here I cut the vinyl, so I get a whole tile here, and I cut this in half. 36 inches. The tub or the pan is 32, so I have 4-inch over gap, which is perfect. I'm gonna have a shower curtain, nothing fancy. So this is gonna be 36 inches. I mark it so I know how far I have to go with the glue. 36 right here. I should probably clean the surface a little bit, right? There we go. So you have good adhesion. I use blue tape and some newspaper to cover up the pan so I don't get it dirty. Where's my straight edge? I use a straight edge to mark the end of the vinyl. There we go. This is gonna go all the way here. There we go. And the glue is water-based, so even if you get it on something, no worries. So this is the glue, Lowe's Depot special. And I just use regular knives, putty knives or drywall knife to put the glue on. So first I put some big blobs on the wall, and then after that I kind of even it out and I work it in. So I hope you can see that. Like that. I'm trying to not to make a huge mess here, but yeah, with this, because you are working on vertical surface, you're not going to be able to avoid it completely. So the newspaper trick is highly recommended. Like so. Try to distribute the glue on the knife evenly. So now we have it on, and I'm gonna take the knife and kind of work it in. Yeah, it gets kind of messy. It gets on your hands and everything, but that's the beauty of it, right? Oops. Yeah, this glue is meant to be used on a horizontal surface, so yeah. Okay, so for the rest, I'm gonna probably use my larger knife. So you kind of have to be careful to only use the knife upwards, because if you try to use it down, the glue is going to fall. So I get some glue from the wall to make the edge, and then I go all the way to the edge and make it nice like that. Check it out. What I do, I really want to make sure that I don't have any areas without glue, because guess what? An air bubble is going to form, and you're going to be able to see that, which is not very good. So you want to make sure you have a nice, even layer of glue everywhere. I go horizontal, make sure you go all the way to the corner. That's very important. I kind of leave more in the corner a little bit. It's gonna probably even squeeze out, but I'm not worried. I'm gonna clean it off with just a simple sponge, but I want to make sure that all the edges have all the glue. So yeah, just like doing drywall with plaster, you kind of want to make sure it's nice and even. And now you can see why I use drywall screw countersink, every single one of them, so it's gonna be perfectly smooth. I'm gonna take the small knife and do the corner like so. Okay, I would say corner, all the corners look good. Yep. So now we're gonna put this aside. Try not to step in the glue. So that's why I have lots of newspaper. I just keep adding. I'm gonna wash my hand. I'll be back. Okay. Yep. So here's the pre-cut vinyl, and I'm going to position it such that it's gonna go into its place the first time. I made sure that these horizontal lines on the vinyl line up, so you can kind of use that as a reference point. Okay, here we go. So yeah, this corner is the most important corner in our case. I can already tell that the vinyl is kind of long in this corner, so I have to trim some of it off, which is no biggie, but you can kind of see that it's gonna look nice. So I'm just gonna take this and cut maybe a 1/8 of an inch off. So it's gonna go. What I do when I cut the piece that goes into the pan, I cut it like I'm trying to cut it 1/8 of an inch short, so there's a gap. So I can put silicone between the pan and the vinyl. There's a little bitty edge here in the pan, so I just cut that piece out. Yeah, it's not a horrible idea if you have a piece of paper towel. To be honest with you, what I do, I take my finger, anything that squeezes out on the bottom, I just remove it. So the next step is going to be, after I wash my hand again, I don't use a paper towel. Because the only thing it does, it just sticks to your finger. So I don't like that. So now we take a cloth, and then I use this cloth to push the vinyl onto the wall and remove all the air bubbles. So the idea again, you start from the middle, like this is the middle, and then you go outwards from this point. So this is gonna stretch the vinyl a bit, but we don't really care about that. If it stretches too much and it buckles in the corner, you just cut it off. But you really have to stretch it and remove all the bubbles so you don't have any air behind it. Trust me, it's gonna show. So I use both of my hands like this, and then I push the bubble. If you have a fancy roller, you can use that, but I don't have it, so I don't use it. Like that. You can see that this is the horizontal line I was talking about on the vinyl. I use that to line up the two pieces. So you can see that the corner is seamless, right? Because that's exactly how I split. This is a 6-foot piece, 6-foot wide piece, $1 a foot, pretty cheap from those. And once I'm done with all this, I'm gonna take silicone the corner, silicone the pan, between the pan and the vinyl all the way around. Oh yeah, by the way, what do I use for a shower curtain like that? I welded this piece. It's a simple rebar, bent. I bent it with a conduit, electric conduit bender. And what I'm gonna do, I have those brackets welded on, bent in the corner, and I'm gonna use screws to kind of hold it up like this. Ghetto. It's gonna work. That's how I did the outside shower curtain. Drilled a hole. My welder is the cheapest you can find on Amazon, 80 bucks, ARC. Recommend anybody to get a welder like that. So that's pretty much it. Bye.